All right. Hi. How are you? So I found out what the protest or yeah, no, not protest, demonstration is about. I was able to read one of the placards, talks about rule and all of that. So they must be talking about road traffic rules. But I did see the word seatbelt, or the kanji or the katakana for seatbelt. So it definitely has to do with road safety. Wearing seatbelt and maybe not speeding. I didn't see the word speed, so maybe they're talking about just complying with the rules, road safety rules. Yes, saying hi to watch out. I'm sorry. So one of the demonstrators, their police car just passed, made a turn from one road to the next, and I saw the protester doing this. This probably means ganbate or ganbarimasu, which means let's fight, let's do this. Oh my word. Okay, so yeah, that's what it is. Now here's the thing that boils my blood. I just can't understand it. And in my total of 12 years in Japan, counting this time, I cannot understand people wearing seatbelt. Like the parents are wearing seatbelts in the car, and they have their children bouncing around in the car without seatbelts on, like standing in the car between the seats. And I'm like, how does this make sense? You, the parent, you are wearing your seatbelt, right? And you think it's okay for your child not to wear the seatbelt. Why? Because they want to not wear it and they want to move around, and then why can't my child wants to just enjoy the ride? So and even if you are driving safely, you can't guarantee the other drivers are driving safely. I mean, you know how many videos how many news reports I've seen of persons in Japan here driving even on the highway, as in the toll road, driving in the opposite direction. I'm not sure if they're on a suicide mission. I'm not sure if they got confused. If they're running away from the law. I'm not sure. But that's what you see. People running red lights or falling asleep, having a medical emergency, and they are...
In 300 meters, turn right.
So imagine a parent is driving. The child is not wearing a seatbelt, and you're not in the wrong. Somebody just slams into your car. Your child is not secured. What do you think is going to happen? I mean, every time I see it, I'm like, I don't get it. They're supposed to be wearing seatbelts. Why is it? Surely this is the law, right? Surely kids should be wearing seatbelts in their booster seats, or even if your child is not in a booster seat, depending on the age and the size, they should be wearing a seatbelt. And most kids, they need to be kids of a certain age and size, should be in the child's seat, should have a child seat in the car. But I see it and I'm like, I don't get this at all. It makes no sense. And there's nothing they can say to me that would make sense, because even when I would be transporting my cats are going to be in their carrier. Okay? They're in their carrier or cage, and I put the seatbelt around it. I do. Especially if they're in the front with me. I put it next to me in the passenger side and lace the seatbelt around it. Because anything can happen. I may be driving safely. I didn't lock the door. I may be driving safely, cautiously, but I can't control other people. I'm like, oh my word. It just bothers me so much. It bothers me so much. And it bothers me when you go into a car as a passenger and the driver doesn't make sure that you're, strapped in. I'm not driving off unless you're strapped in. I'm like, put on your seatbelt. I don't care if you have a problem wearing seatbelts. I'm like, I'm not driving unless you put on your seatbelt, or you're not coming with me unless you put on your seatbelt. That includes your child, you, the adult. I'm not doing it. you're going to wear a seatbelt or you're going to get out of my car. Because I'm not going to be guilty. I know in Jamaica, I think if your passengers don't wear a seatbelt, you're going to be responsible. You're supposed to make sure that people are wearing seatbelt in your car. So you're going to wear it. And especially if it's a child, I don't care if your child wants to throw a tantrum. If they're going to throw a tantrum in my car because they don't want to wear a seatbelt, then you and that child can get out. Take a taxi, bus, or walk. But everybody's wearing a seatbelt. Everybody. If you have a booster seat for your child or a child's, what do you call them? Child's seat, bring it, put it in the car. I don't have one. But it's just crazy. It's just crazy. So I hope whatever they're saying has to do with parents also strapping their kids in, because I can't believe parents are that naive to think that their kids are safe without wearing a seatbelt. I can't, and I still see it to this day, 2024, still happening. Anyway, recently in the news I saw that a guy was trying to smuggle, or I think he bought, or they found, this is in Hawaii it happened, they found I think 2 grenades on him or in his luggage. I don't even think they were even concealed, or maybe they were concealed. But yeah, it was in Hawaii. I know the sun isn't out, it's still right in my face. Yeah, he was, they found it. I'm like, wow, why did he have those 2 things? Well, is he a collector? Did he have other motives for getting them? It's really crazy. So these things happen, you know, there is crime in Japan. There is. But they're very strict, so, you know.
You are in 5-minute congestion. You are still on the best route.
Yeah, I realize that. But it's so crazy that
At the light, turn right.
Yes, thank you. Sometimes you tell me ahead of time, and sometimes you're telling me, like, as I'm turning, you're like, turn right or turn left, and I'm like, girl, why didn't you tell me this before? Although I am doing what I'm supposed to do. Oh, the holiday's coming up. I can't wait. I'm just excited about it. Anyway, so that's it. Nothing more to report.